Snipers, you have to see what's happening to the Bitcoin price today as we are maintaining this major support level heading towards the apex of this larger structure. And I want to talk about exactly what I'm expecting for Bitcoin. But when we look at what's happening to Ethereum, you can see we do have a potential trade opportunity here with an ascending triangle forming. And if we were to look at the potential target of where this ascending triangle could take us, you can see here, if this were to break out, there is a potential trade opportunity to take us towards the top of this channel, but even beyond that, around that $2,400 area. And then of course, we still have our longer term target here of $2,600, which could be achieved in the next few days into the next week or so, because we're in price discovery right now for Ethereum. And so we want to monitor this potential ascending triangle. And then of course, we'll take a look at what's happening to traditional markets as well, because when we look at what's happening to the DXY, we are seeing some follow through to the downside, which is a good thing. We broke down from 92.62. When we pull up the daily chart and we look at this 200-day moving average, it is currently being breached. And so this could potentially buy us some time to see more upside in the cryptocurrency and traditional markets, because the S&P 500 in reaction to this is seeing new all-time highs, and we're doing extremely well in the total cryptocurrency market cap, because you can see today we formed a new all-time high above $2 trillion in total cryptocurrency market cap. And so that is a very positive thing. There is a lot to look at today. You guys are watching the Snipers channel. My name is Naeem Al-Obeidi. If you appreciate this content, remember to like this video. First, I just want to come back here to Bitcoin and talk about what's happening inside of this symmetrical triangle structure. Of course, you can see here 58,300 is a very important level. You can see how we are testing this level constantly, and it's creating a lot of chart vibration here. You can see right now we're finding it as a resistance, but we are maintaining this support level. And when we look at what's happening to the volume, there is some slight sell pressure here, but we know there's also buy pressure. And so I'm not too concerned about how the volume is. The fact that we're maintaining this support level is a good thing. The one concern I would have is the fact that we're heading towards the apex of this structure. Typically, you want to see something happen around 70% towards the apex if we're going to assume a breakout. So seeing this weakness isn't too big of a deal for me. As long as we're above 55,700 for Bitcoin, I think things should be extremely positive when it comes to price action over the next few days, especially if the S&P 500 continues to see strength and we continue to see the DXY stall out from seeing further upside, because with the DXY consolidating, we can certainly see some further price action. Now, we could make a case here. We do have a potential inverse head and shoulder pattern forming. I think there are a lot of patterns that are forming here for Bitcoin. And really, the macro target at this point is going to be to take this market structure high and then come down to this major support that you can see is clearly providing some support for Bitcoin. And if we take the schematics of that structure, it takes us towards the top of this channel that Bitcoin has tested already twice. You can see here, this channel has only been tested twice. And so for a third test of this channel around that $70,000 to $75,000 mark, in my opinion, is a plausible scenario, especially when we're seeing new all-time highs with the S&P 500. So that's what I'm monitoring for the upside scenario. How would we play this? Well, if we were to assume this was the inverse head and shoulder pattern, then we have a neckline that we can play a breakout trade from. And there's a lot of ways to look at this. We can take this symmetrical triangle, play the breakout of the resistance. Really, either way that we do it, this is the only real option. It's to really play this breakout of resistance from this $60,000 area. We've got the big even of 60,000 right around where this resistance is. So I think seeing some hourly and 4-hour candle closes above 60,000 could be the first confirmation that a long is a good idea, because at that point, of course, we do have 61,844, but that was just the previous all-time high. That's not a big deal to break when you're in price discovery. And so I think that seeing the $66,000 to $67,000 target that we talked about a week ago would be very plausible, and then that potential continuation of 70 to 75,000 could happen there. And so when it comes to the downside scenario, as long as we're above 55,700 and we're not seeing too many warning signs in traditional markets in the DXY, I think we're looking good for Bitcoin. And you can see when it comes to altcoins, we do have this ascending triangle formation here for Ethereum, which we want to monitor because Ethereum is currently in price discovery. And so what you'll notice here is we're coming towards the 70% of the apex here. We do have this target, if we took the schematics of the high here, that could take us even beyond this channel. And of course, we know that we have a personal target of around that $2,600 level that I'm expecting based on the initial breakout that we saw from this larger triangle. And so I think that 2,600 is very likely during this phase of price discovery for Ethereum, and there is a potential trade opportunity here as well if Ethereum breaks through right around the candle high of 2151. I think any closes above 2151, in my opinion, hourly and 4-hour can be the first confirmation that we'll start to see 2,300, and then a breach of 23 to 2,400. I think 2,600 is going to easily be in the books here for Ethereum. And so Ethereum to Bitcoin chart looking well, coming towards our target of 37,170 Satoshis. This is a bearish, flaggish type of pattern actually. So let's just monitor this because this could break to the downside to retest possibly at $35,000, 35,000 Satoshi area. Let's just monitor this because typically you don't want to see higher highs form on a flag. You want to see lower highs, but of course this is potential reversal area, and so we do want to really monitor that 35,000 Satoshi level. In my opinion, it's key, but so far that target of 37,170 is still valid for the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. And you can see why the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart is so important now, because you can see how Bitcoin is kind of stalling out, and we're actually seeing a little bit of downside here with Bitcoin. It's not too bad though. Of course, it's just what we see when there's low volume. It's garden variety market behavior, right? So you can see how Ethereum has been able to maintain the higher price levels while Bitcoin has been kind of sloping down, and that all has to do with the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, which is why it's so important. So regardless of what happens to Bitcoin, if the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart's doing well, then the Ethereum price could be a little bit different when it comes to price action and movements, right? So there's a decoupling effect there. So we just keep that in mind. Others dominance looking very good. New highs here, testing the 14% level. That's why we're seeing tons of altcoins with price action. For those in the Discord, you know exactly what we're talking about. Lots of buyers here. So I expect a continuation because we are in price discovery for others dominance at this point. And so that's going to be exciting to watch. Bitcoin dominance coming now below 57%, breaking a major level, and still a lot of sellers here. So I think that altcoin season is still in effect, and it looks like it will continue to be in effect. I am going to actually have to start drawing some lower support lines here for Bitcoin dominance for us to monitor here because of how this market structure has already come down so quick. And we really called it at this resistance level. And so if you guys have been keeping up with our channel, we called that reversal, which was awesome. And so with that being said, the VIX coming to 18, which is amazing. It's been so high for so long now. That's a great indicator for traditional markets. We looked at S&P 500 once again. If we're seeing strength in traditional markets like the S&P 500, which is extremely correlated to Bitcoin, and we're seeing the DXY consolidate or just kind of have a cup of coffee, I think that's always going to be a positive thing. If we start to see a violent rally back up for the DXY, that could be a slight concern. Of course, if we look at the 2-year treasuries, they are starting to come up. We know the 10-year treasuries have already come up. And so we will monitor the DXY, but so far we found resistance here, and we're just kind of consolidating. And I told you guys, if that happens, it buys time for traditional markets and cryptocurrencies to see strength. That's why there's new all-time highs for the S&P 500 and new all-time highs for the total cryptocurrency market cap right now. And so with Bitcoin, of course, it's a larger asset, bigger market cap. We're going to see less volatility. And so at this point, when the path of least resistance, when there's low volume, is going to be sideways to a little bit higher. And so with that, thank you guys so much. I think if Bitcoin does break out of this, it could be a very nice long play to that $70,000 level. I do want to give away one of my favorite books on value investing, Principles by Ray Dalio. If you want to win this book, comment below and share this video, and you'll be entered into this giveaway. I'm going to go ahead and pick a winner from our video yesterday. Let's see here. Mark says, thank you so much, Naeem. NY adds to my challenges of learning the coin business as an older guy, but you help with the learning process for sure. Yeah, New York is tough on exchanges, so that is an interesting concept. You want a book, go ahead and send me a message on Instagram Mark Narducci, and you went ahead and will get that book. Link is in the description below. With that, thank you guys so much for watching. Just wanted to throw this quick update out. I'm not too worried about what's happening to Bitcoin's price. I know we are below 58,300, but we're still having a cup of coffee, maintaining support. And so unless 55,700 is breached is when I would have some concerns about the Bitcoin price action. So thank you so much. With that, snipers out.